Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to try and recreate Nina Park's signature makeup look. This kind of makeup look is right up my alley and I felt like I was living under a rock because I came to know about her just a few days ago. I mean, just look at these beautiful women. I love this kind of editorial makeup. It looks expensive but it doesn't scream makeup. Her makeup is all about skin that still looks like skin, soft sculpted eyes, blurred lips, and that effortless editorial finish where nothing looks harsh and everything looks intentional. So in today's video, I'm going to recreate her iconic makeup style step by step on my skin tone. So if you love minimal, sculpted, modern makeup that enhances your features instead of hiding them, this video is for you. So let's get into it. Let's start with base. I'm going for a skin first, softly sculpted base. Starting by hydrating the skin really well. I'm using the MAC Fix Plus and spraying it generously all over my face. Instead of letting it air dry, I like to gently dab it into my skin using my hands. Next, for primer, I'm using the NYX Face Glue. I use a good amount here because the goal isn't just grip. It's longevity without heaviness. I'm pressing this into my skin, especially in areas where makeup tends to move, like around the mouth and nose. Now, for foundation, I'm keeping it very sheer and skin-like. I'm actually using a skin tint. This is the Faye Face Card Skin Tint in shade 41O. This has light coverage, just enough to even out the skin tone while still letting my natural skin show through. I'm buffing it into the skin using a stippling brush. You don't want to drag or swipe. This technique keeps the coverage light and diffused. We want everything to look as blended as possible. Now I'm going in with a concealer. This one is from Dow Beauty, focusing only where I actually need it, around the mouth for hyperpigmentation, under the eyes for dark circles, and on a few acne spots. Now I'm going to blend everything in with the PAK S12 brush. Tapping and pressing it into my skin, this helps the concealer melt into the base instead of looking like a separate layer. For contour, I'm using Ruby's Organics 1 Stick in Espresso, and this step is very important before applying it on my face. I'm shearing it out on the back of my hand. I treat the back of my hand like a palette. This gives me full control over the pigmentation. This way you achieve subtle dimension without harsh lines. I'm applying the contour very lightly just to add structure, not to carve the face. And in the end, I'm going to soften everything out with the same stippling brush I used for my skin tint. This keeps everything seamless and prevents that obvious contoured look. For blush, I'm using the cream blush from Fine Wine Cosmetics. And to make it even more skin-like, I'm mixing a little bit of it with my skin tint. Mixing complexion products together so the blush looks like it's coming from within the skin, not sitting on top. For placement, I'm not going for a lifted or a high blush placement. Instead, I'm applying it in the area where my skin naturally turns red when I blush. Slightly across the cheeks, closer to the center of the face. This gives a very realistic, lived-in flush, which is such a signature part of Nina's makeup style. To set just the concealer areas, I'm using a powder foundation, lightly pressing it under the eyes and around the mouth. I'm avoiding heavy setting everywhere else so the skin still looks fresh and flexible. Moving on to the eyes, her eye makeup is softly sculpted, defined, but never harsh. Everything is blended and diffused. Let's start with the brows. First, I'm filling in the sparse areas using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, creating soft hair-like strokes instead of drawing a solid brow. Then, here is the trick. Here's what you have to do for fluffy brows. I'm using my Lakme Absolute Mascara. I'm brushing it through my brows to give them that fluffy, brushed up look. First, you want to comb the brows back slightly to add definition. The brow should frame the face, not overpower it. Now for the eyes, I'm tight lining with Kiro Kohl. I am keeping the kohl strictly to my lash line. Gently smudge it only within the lash line. This way the eyes look defined but soft. You don't want to go too far up. Now to help diffuse the black, I'm taking Ruby's Organics 1 Stick in Espresso and using it to lightly contour the eyes. This is just going to add some definition. Also, the kohl will have something to blend into. It creates that smoky but clean effect Nina Park is known for. Now for the wing, this is very subtle. This has to be the thinnest and the most subtle wing I have done till date. I first sketched the tiniest sharp wing using my brow pencil. This helps me control the shape without going too bold. Once I'm happy with the shape, I take an eyeliner brush and add a little more definition. The wing should almost disappear when the eyes are open. It shouldn't stand out a lot. It's only there to enhance your eye shape. To add dimension to the lid, I'm pressing a tiny amount of liquid highlighter right at the center. This catches the light beautifully without looking shimmery or overdone. I'm gonna curl my lashes and finish with Judy Doll Mascara, focusing on separation and length rather than volume. Now for lips, probably the most iconic part of Nina Park's makeup style. I'm starting by contouring my lips using the Ruby's Organics 1 stick in espresso. I line the lips first and then take a smudger brush to diffuse the edges. This step takes time and it's meant to. The blurring is what makes the lips look soft and dimensional instead of harsh. Once that's blended, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner and Espresso Martini to add another layer of depth. I keep the edges soft and focus the color more towards the center. The goal is lived-in blurred lip, not a perfectly lined one. To finish, I tap a clear gloss right in the center of my lips. This adds fullness without taking away from that soft, diffused effect. Now to set everything in place, I'm using my MAC Fix Plus Stay Over Setting Spray. This locks the makeup in while keeping that skin-like finish intact. And this is the final look, softly sculpted, skin-focused, and very true to Nina Park's signature style. Everything is blended, nothing feels harsh, and the makeup enhances the face instead of overpowering it. What I love most about this Nina Park-inspired style is that it doesn't rely on heavy coverage or dramatic techniques. It's really about blending, restraint, and understanding your face, which makes this makeup look wearable but still elevated. So let me know if you guys like these kind of technique-focused makeup artist-inspired videos. Hope this video was helpful. If it was, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.